Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode here on the Hermitcraft server. You're joined today by none other than me, the camera account. Hello, let's go into this mode. Hi, how you doing? We are over here at the beginning of this episode to check out the witch farm because something happened over here and all of you need an explanation as to what happened because this witch farm has now been decommissioned. It is turned off permanently, it will not be turned back on. The reason I've decided to do this is because Tango has built a witch farm, so there is still a witch farm for resources on the server. And because I don't fully understand what went wrong here, this thing has been running for a very long time. Now, lately the server has been a little bit funky with people connecting to it, and in the middle of that happening, this thing almost crashed the server permanently. I couldn't get near it. It took me a while to figure out what went wrong, and I will show you by pressing F3 and G. We will now also go into camera account mode again, which makes the mobs despawn. So you can see that there is a chunk border right here. And this is exactly where the error happened, on this height right here. So, these skeletons inside this farm will shoot across at the iron golem, which would normally be over here, going back and forth through the water. Their arrows would land in the water and go all the way down to the bottom here. What was happening is the arrows were landing on top of these trapdoors, which is a little bit strange to begin with, and then they weren't despawning, which I believe means that at some point this chunk here was a lazy chunk, an unloaded chunk, and these ones were loaded. A little bit strange that they would choose to shoot into an unloaded chunk, although maybe they can see the golem that's in it. So these guys are shooting, and the entities aren't despawning. Eventually we ended up with 12,000 entities, which meant as soon as you came over here, the server would crash. And once I figured out the problem was, I deleted all of the arrow entities on the server, and that solved the problem. Now, I mentioned this in a live stream that had happened. You've probably heard a couple of other hermits talking about it, and that's why we're starting off this episode with an explanation of what happened, because I forgot to. It's actually like well and truly over a week since that happened, but now you know the story behind why we have deactivated this witch farm. Ooh, look at me right now. It's like I've got a halo, hey? Oh, anyway, I've got an announcement to make. Us hermits are doing a Christmas live stream that's going to go over 2 days. We will be streaming here on the vanilla server, with exception to Biffa, who's streaming on the modded server. So it's 2 days of Christmas festive streaming, and both of these streams are going to last 12 hours each. I'm going to put the schedule up on your screen. You can read that and make sense of it, I'm sure. The key information you should know about is each hermit will be streaming on their own channel, and if you do not understand the time zones, the best thing to do is to visit hermitcraft.com/xmas16, and there you'll find all the information. Links to the time zones, you can click on them and find out what time your favourite hermit is streaming on in your time zone, and it will have a link to everyone's channel as well. So make sure to book that one in your calendar. Write it down. Don't forget the day. I'm going to remind you about it in the next few episodes. And whoa, what is this thing right here? We are over at Tango's witch farm. I thought I would show you guys that Tango has been up to some amazing work here on the server as well. Look at this. A beautiful perimeter built out of something very purpley. I'm going to guess that's purple glass or purple clay. It looks very bright from up here, and as I've been staring down, I've noticed that sometimes light comes along these paths, and it gave me a little bit as a theory as to why that was happening. We're going to steal a couple of pieces of Tango's glowstone. I don't think he's going to be bothered by that, just 3 pieces. When I chuck these down below, are we going to see like light travel downwards? And look, there it is. I think, look, some light is travelling down here, and then it's sort of going back and forth a little bit. Yeah, you can see it sort of dropping back. Let's throw those down. I think they're going to light up when they hit the ground. I think I know exactly what's going on here. Bam, there it is. Look, it lit up. Let's fly down below. So Mr. Tango Tech has been at work here, building a double witch farm, not just a singular one, a double one. So twice the efficiency we could ever hope for on our other one. I'm not sure whose design he's gone with over here, but I wanted to show you that there is another witch farm on the server, and it's pretty impressive. So if you didn't catch on to what was happening, I've got Optifine. These are item streams right here. I believe when the glowstone comes through here, Optifine is lighting it up, and so you see the light travel across, which is pretty cool. This is not the best time of day to look at things, is it? There we go, much better. I believe there are some angry residents inside there. And I know what sort of design this is actually. You can see the platform right here. There's slime blocks going across the middle. All of these pistons are going to push them that way, and then those pistons push them back, And the witches they're all looking at me, aren't they? Look! They want to fight. It's not going to happen. Stay back. Yes, I imagine they get pushed off of either side and a drop or something kills them. Anyway, if you want to see how it's done, go over to Tango's channel. Check him out. He's made a couple of episodes on this witch farm, which is an amazing project. Your eyes do not deceive you. That's right, we're in the Octavoid, and that's actually going to be the focus of the episode today. Now below me I am doing some construction. It'll be obvious what I'm building very soon, but while this time lapse is going on, I wanted to take the opportunity to talk to you about something you've probably heard a lot about recently, and that is the whole YouTube is broken, views are disappearing. Yeah, I'm not going to repeat the same things that other people have said. I'm going to say this. YouTube is changing. YouTube has always been changing. Change is the name of the game. This isn't the same website it was 10 years ago, and it does seem like YouTube are trying to move away from subscription-based model because for them it probably generates more views and more ad revenue if it's not based around subscription models. Now this channel was built on subscriptions. People subscribe and then they go and watch the videos. I've never had a lot of viral traffic, and because of that, you guys who subscribe to me are the most important viewers I have, and I wanted to make it clear to you that there are alternatives to YouTube to follow what I'm doing on YouTube, right? Because they're moving away from the whole subscription thing. So I wanted to let you know that there are alternatives. On my Twitter, my Facebook and my website, you can find out about the videos that I'm uploading. So if those things interest you, links are in the description box. And then there's also the notification squad as well. Next to the subscribe button, once you've clicked it, there'll be a bell. If you click on that bell, you can get notified of when I upload a video via email or on your phone. And that's a great way of staying connected to the channel if that's what you want to do. If not, no worries at all, no pressure, not trying to ask anyone to do anything here. Just wanted to make you all aware that those options are available. There is quite the difference between recording a little speech like that when you're sitting down, just sitting at the computer with the microphone, and something like this where you're actually playing and walking around. This is just so much more casual and the other one's so formal. Probably sounded like I gave a little bit of a speech there, and it might have sounded like a plug as well. I guess in a way it is. I wasn't really trying to plug my other stuff so much as to say that, hey, you know, YouTube is changing and there are other ways that you can keep watching YouTube the way you want to watch it, because they don't want you using subscriptions anymore, it feels like. They want to recommend all the videos that you should be watching, so you just sit there and watch for hours on end as it gives you video after video. That's a theory, it's not fact, I guess. It's just a suspicion based on the things that they're doing. This place is beautiful and amazing, isn't it? Have to say that, have to appreciate what's going on here. This is so cool. And down below we have an Elder Guardian in this area. Now, aha, there it is. Yes, I was about to say there's a hole here. You can't really see the Elder Guardian from up here. I think I would have liked this a lot more if all of this were higher up and then there was like a gap here. You could look down and see the entire Elder Guardian. So let's jump down here. Here it is, and there's a little bit of a problem with this. It doesn't leave us with a lot of space to build our storage system. I kind of pictured it always going above this thing, which I've had in my mind for a while now. I got a suggestion from a friend of mine, Lord Cloud, who does some drawings. He sends them to me on Twitter. They are beautiful and amazing, and I love them. And he then sent me a world with some suggestions for what I could do to the Octavoid, and what he built was a big guardian down here. So I asked him to send me the world, so if you're watching, buddy, I know he is, thank you so much, this looks so good. I took what he sent me, I modified it a bit, made it a little bit smaller in terms of height, and I also changed all of the textures and materials, so we got an Elder Guardian over here. Now I was about to put a sea lantern there, but then do you know what? We could probably get away with just putting a block there, right? That's absolutely fine. I'm also going to put one to that side. So a little bit of a problem you might have noticed is that I was getting mobs spawning on this thing, because when I started building it I completely forgot about lighting it up. And although this thing already has a few sea lanterns and some carpets on top to keep it nice and yellow, it needs a lot more of them. We can't have any mobs spawning down here. They will cause problems in no time at all. So yeah, big thank you to Lord Cloud for sending over this idea and sharing the schematic of the world with me that he had, because then I was able to change and update it a little bit, mix it about, turn it into an Elder Guardian. And I'll tell you what, we should actually go and look at the world he sent me to. Having looked around the world, I've got to say this is very impressive. A recreation from I alone, just by watching the videos, and it is stunning. However, unfortunately, some of the scale is off. As we go forward here and look down, we'll see a very impressive view of the Guardian staring back at us. That evil eye right there. It looks intimidating, doesn't it? And then we'll drop down into this area and you might see what's going on here. The scale is off. There is a lot more space between the top of the Guardian and the bottom of the Octavoid there. But this is no complaint. I mean, Lord Cloud's done an impressive job here. You can't get every detail right. I reckon that there is about 6 to 8 blocks of extra space here, and that's why it feels so much bigger down here. Also, the one that we've built on Hermitcraft is a little bit smaller than this. I think I shrunk it down by 2 blocks in height as well, just to maximize the amount of space that we get above it. But it's a very impressive build, and you can see what I did is basically replace some of the materials with other colors, so we would get the Elder Guardian effect, and it turned out really cool. But I also removed this as well. There's like a mini storage area down here, and I think we'll have to take some inspiration from Lord Cloud here and build a shrine on Hermitcraft, some sort of tribute to the build itself, maybe put a few facts and interesting info about the Octavoid down there. But that is the build which we have taken great inspiration from. So removing these torches is a good thing. There's lots of them down the sides here though, and lots of them on these bits. I'm not sure if light blue carpet or blue or maybe purple would really match this. We don't want it to pop out too much, but I was just thinking about the texture. Something we're not going to do right now, but I have got in mind for the future, is to replace some of this with sand. Sand actually looks really good alongside it, but it's a bit of a pain when you first build it, because you then got to go and put cobblestone underneath so the sand doesn't fall down. Kind of looks like we're missing some light over here, aren't we? That bit's a bit dark. Do you know what? I really love to be able to check all of the light levels here, but you got to do it the tedious way, and I'm just not in the mood for doing that right now, you know? So that'll do for now, I think. The side is kind of plastered with them up the top. Looking pretty cool. If we go down here, though, there's a little bit of a temporary entrance. And there's actually a lot of space down here. There's a lot of space to work with. If we do throw in sand up above, then we won't have sandstone. We won't have cobblestone below. We will have whatever we use to decorate the inside of this. Is it me? Is my frame's just dropping right now? Where's our FPS? 20. Yeah, when I look in this direction, they drop right down. When I look in that direction, they jump up. Very, very odd. Because, I don't know, there's not a lot to look at down here, really, is there? Here's something I need to do right now. I need to get this glass on the inside here. I am sick of falling into the bedrock. It'll be no surprise to hear that I've run out of black glass. So I've come over here to check on how many diamonds we made. This thing has been selling. Someone has been buying a lot of the gold. We're going to need to restock again. I'm diamond rich on this server. Look at this. 44 diamonds. I don't feel like I've lifted a finger. At least for a while. Oh dear. Looks like Ren is a little bit low on stock at the moment. Going to have to ask him to restock up. That should do us for now though. We'll be able to get the inside of the area done with that. The rest of the Octavoid though, we're going to need a lot more of this stuff. I've got good and bad news about the Golden Rabbit. The good news is that we've sold everything. The bad news is that we've sold everything. We've got no stock, so I need to jump on stocking this thing up pretty quickly. Some of you have noticed that I'm walking around with a lot of levels of XP. That's because I've been working over at the gold farm. And when I say working, what I mean is standing there AFK. So we have more gold to make more Golden Rabbits. We need to stock up our other shop as well. Over here in the background, though, there is the Shears Tower, which I believe is a pun on the shears that were used to acquire all of this black wool. But it's probably not a pun, because I think it's actually based on a building called the Shears Tower. Anyway, that is a piece of art that is up for auction. I'm sure me and Ren will be interested in purchasing some more art. Us Logfellas do enjoy our fine arts. Somewhere around here, I've forgotten where it is, it's just over there, there is now a new part of the Brown District as it goes. It is a walkway that leads down to the sandy area at the bottom, and why have I not seen it yet? It feels like... Aha, here it is, look, and there's even a sign. Coming soon, Broadwalk Shopping. So this goes all the way down here. There's a nice view into this under area, which I believe is going to have shops one day as well. And now we've got this little walkway, and I believe a new shop has appeared straight away. What does this one sell? Bone and quartz? What does it say? Proprietor. Tanned cheesed... No, tanned chest leather shop. No idea if I'm saying that correctly or not. Ah, it's the leather shop. Okay, keep adventuring. I will, Joe. I will. Aha, so there is a plot system. Reminds me of the plot fellas, this does. Plot 12. There's 12 plots. I love the way they're separated with redstone. That's really cool. Nice and easy to pick back up again and very visual. Plot 6. Wow, there's a lot of plots down here. This is quite a big operation going on here. It stretches all the way down to this bit, and then it goes in a straight line in this way, and it lines up with our pillar. If you remember us working on this, the deal was that I was going to have loads of these across the side and do some more terraforming, but then Fools came over here and just took care of it all, which I'm really grateful for, because I don't think this thing will look too great. Now it kind of looks like it's not even like an actual structure, it's just sort of floating here, like literally. And there's also, oh, a minecart elevator. Who's done this? This wasn't me, was it? Is my memory terrible, or is there... Yeah, something totally new here. This wasn't me then. That's really, really cool, actually. That's a great way to make use of that build. To lower shopping district. Ah, so much stuff is happening around here. So while we're being healthily distracted, I thought I'd come over to the white district. Is it me, or is there more lushness around here now? Llama Armor looks good. We need to put some vines up on there. Got loads of suggestions to do that. There's also a little new thing here from Tango. I believe he's doing some sort of free fireworks community service thing. I don't know what you call that. And that is what we're looking for over here. That is a very interesting looking build, isn't it? Zul'jin's house here looks really cool. I noticed that someone built a bridge from Zul'jin's into White District. I love seeing that. I love looking around and seeing that little things pop up. But talking about things popping up, what about this? There's a giant elf holding a giant present. It looks amazing. This was built by False. I mean, when you see a build like that on the server, you know who's built it. It's so cool. And there's a little garden down the bottom here. Secret Santa. Yes, we're going to be participating in Secret Santa this year, which I think I've done every time there's been one on Hermitcraft. There's certainly been a few. And if you don't know what Secret Santa is, it's where you get a present for someone, but that person does not know who got the present for them. So let's have a little read of this book and see what we need to do. So it's pretty straightforward. You take a piece of paper, rename it to your name, and then you put it inside one of these droppers so we can see who else is participating. Very cool. We're going to put ours in this one here. I then think it'll all be randomized. You come up here at a later date and you pull out a name, and then you have to build that person a present. As it says in the book, you can make them a present, you can prank them. There's many things that you could do. So if you've got any ideas for what we should do, leave a comment down below, let me know, because I'm going to need to rattle my brain for some ideas. There we go. Very cool. Very slick down here, isn't it? I've also done a little bit of the outside area. Let's go and walk around. You might be wondering why I didn't build this one block lower. I could have actually had these blocks level with the glass because there's no bedrock at that level. It's the level down that there's bedrock. And I tried that. I actually tried that and it didn't look very good at all. I wasn't happy with how it looked when this was resting with the glass. There's none over here. It comes out a little bit on this side. There's so much more work to be done. I think I used about 6 stacks of glass and then the other 9, although I think I had like 1.5 left over. So let's say about 13 or 14 stacks of glass to do that area in the middle. There is still all of this over on this side. There's a whole bunch to do down there, and I think that corner is done, but that corner needs doing. I don't know, we're probably going to use another double chest worth of black glass. I would not be surprised if we got through that much. Love the sound of the XP orbs. It's kind of contrasted by the grunts of the pigmen, who are very angry. Yes, we're up here doing some AFKing so we can get some more gold. I'm going to go for a walk. It is a lovely day outside, so a good timing to leave my computer here for a little bit. Just AFK so we can get some more gold and some more XP as well. So we need to get back to the Octavoid, and from the farming we've got 16 stacks of gold ingots, so they're going to go straight into our shop. And for this one we've got 11 stacks in each chest, so that's 44 in total for sale. And yes, I've made the size of the chests here a little bit smaller. Okay, I'm not going mad here. There is definitely a lot more darkness on this side. And I'm not sure as to why. It's darker there, over here. There's more sunlight or daylight coming in from up above. Now remember, it can go through water and lava and through the hoppers, so that bit makes sense. But why is this here so luminous? I just don't know. Anyway, here's what we're going to do. We're going to finalise another part of this room, which is these open spaces on either corner where we collect the Guardian drops. We're no longer going to be collecting them there. We're going to be moving them somewhere else. And we're going to do this in style. Now, I brought with me these blocks right here. If we plop down our Octavoid ender chest, I love this. Just name it to the project that you're working on, and then you know where to go with it. We're going to grab some obsidian, some coal blocks, and we'll need a few other things like this here as well. This is going to be an interesting little build. Believe me, you may notice though that those blocks are the same as these patches over here. So we go for the lighter blue colour, then the darker one, that's the clays, and then to obsidian and coal. So we sort of go from purple to black. And we're going to do that again up here. I should have brought some scaffolding blocks with me, that would have been smart. So anyway, we've copied a ring of the dirt down with this block, and that means that it's now seamless. You won't see any of the dirt from down below. What we're also going to do is put a block at every corner like this, and that means that rather than having diagonals, there will always be like, you could walk from block to block to block to block, if that makes sense. It kind of doesn't until you see it from down below. There we go. So if we pay attention to the other patterns here, like there's no points where this gets cut off anywhere there. You can always just go from one block to the next all the way around. And that's what we're going to do with this. So we're going to repeat that with the darker shade of clay, then do the obsidian and the coal as well. Okay, it should be starting to look like something, that being an eye. But not yet, not quite yet. As we stand back and bring more of the room into this, it being an eye is going to look odd when there's four of them like spaced out with this pattern in the middle. But it'll look seriously cool, trust me. So we're going to go back up there and we're going to use some black wool now. Which, aha, it's in this thing over here, right? So I think our eye should be the same way as the Elder Guardian, going across like that. So we'll start over here and we're placing blocks first of all in these spots because our eye is going to be red. So we're going to have some red glass going across the middle. That's actually going to turn the beacon beam... Well, actually, no, it's not, because I'm not going to place a glass block there. You'll see why in a moment. So we're also going to have this. Then it's going to be quite a wide eye, so it will be 5 blocks across in total. I'll tell you, getting up and down into this place is going to end up being a bit of a pain. But filling in all the rest of this, we've now kind of got the bulk of the eye in place. We need to remove some of this as well. And then above the red glass, we're going to put in some red, pink, and redstone blocks as well. So we'll just like variate these a little bit, throw them about. And from down here, you can really see the eye. I think the beacon beam makes it kind of odd, to be fair. I sort of pictured this about the beacon beam there, first of all. Definitely looks like the eye, not the prettiest eye I've ever seen, and it's kind of evil as well, right? Makes this place look creepy. We might have to move away from the idea, actually. I think now that I've seen the beacon beams here, it doesn't really quite work the way I'd want it to. Anyway, we've got to get up there now. I need to craft some chests, because what we want to do is move all of those items that we've got into some other chests so they're out of the way. We're going to be doing a little bit of redstoning up there. And when I say a little bit, I literally mean a little bit. I think this is it. This is the circuit. That's all we need. Just a couple of comparators. And now we need to put a dropper in place. So we're going to shoot items out of the eye. I know that sounds really weird, but that's my idea for how we're going to transport items out of here. Do something different from the usual. Bam, that thing's facing downwards. The redstone is doing its thing. We're now shooting items all the way down to the bottom. Excellent, that is exactly what I wanted. Now I also wanted a few more droppers, some hoppers, and... aha, black carpet. Yes, I think we might need some more hoppers though, so let's craft a few more. That is quite the sight. We're going to run into a problem here very quickly, and that is like I can already see the items are going out to like either side, and I was hoping that the dropper facing downwards, that the items would hit the walls and then come out straight down onto this block. But obviously they can come out at an angle and eventually come out to the side like this. So I believe we can correct that by rearranging the way the dropper faces up there, which shouldn't be too difficult. And right now what we're going to do is get the items from here outside of this area. Now we could use a lot of hoppers here and just forget about our problem, which is what I think we might do. But I actually want to try and stick with what I was initially going to go for. Do you know what? That's going to happen. Our inventory is going to be filled up with cooked fish. I'm going to accept that. So this can be a chain of hoppers that lead somewhere else. They could go in a straight line like this through the wall, and we could build whatever we like on the other side. Now we've got another one of these things to build over the back there, so that hopper chain could come along and meet up with this one, and then we've got two more over there as well. They could both go to like a thing on either side, or they could meet somewhere in the middle out there. I don't know, but we'll end up building a room where we can go and craft sea lanterns and stuff like that. Now the problem is we've got a beacon here, so I was picturing having a hopper in that exact spot, but the beacon has taken that up. So what we could do is put in a dropper and then have a hopper pointing into it, and that way it would go from there to there, and then we could put some carpets on top of it so nothing spawns on it, and that looks pretty cool. What happened to our beacon beam? The dropper! Oh, that took me a while. Well, that's not really a problem then, because we'll just have it one block back, shooting off to the side, and that should mean that all the items fall straight down into the hopper. Yeah, looks like they're all landing on the one in the middle now. Possibly they're also landing on top of that dropper, which is a bad thing. Here's what I was picturing us doing. We could have... Wait, I just took out the two things I needed out of my inventory. We could have had them in a little circle like this. Right, and then put carpet on top of all of it. And then it just looks like it's a little thing sitting there doing something. That actually looks really cool. I like that a lot, because otherwise it's kind of obvious what's going on here when you can see the hopper, you know? I know what you're thinking. Why are you throwing chests at a ladder? I'm throwing chests at a ladder to see if its hitbox affects where the chests will land. Let's try it over here. Like that. Bam. It does. It does. Look at that. These are slightly closer. We could put a ladder up there and that would stop them dropping forward. Where they would land on a dropper. At the moment it's a hopper. But look, some of them are coming off to the side as well. And what I don't want to do is put hoppers around at this height right here. If we had hoppers below going around in a circle, that might not look so bad. It's all aesthetic and function at the moment. It's a little challenge back and forth. I don't know what I'm going to do. Well, I'm going to turn this off for now because there are a lot of items here. This thing just continuously drops them down, which is pretty impressive. And my inventory is continuously getting filled up. I know what I want to do. I want the items to land on this bit right here. So we need to figure out how to do that. If you have any suggestions, leave a comment. We've got to manipulate what the dropper is doing up the top to make that happen. And I think the occasional item going out to the side, like this one does, that's full up by the way, is okay, but it needs to be very, very low, because otherwise they'll build up. Like a few of them sitting there for 5 minutes and despawning, no problem. A lot of them could cause some issues. So that's something we need to consider. And so that concludes this episode of Hermitcraft. I feel kind of evil standing on top of this thing, but I'm not. I'm just a Christmas assumer right now. If you've enjoyed the video, leave a like, and do remember to check out the Hermitcraft website, hermitcraft.com/xmas16, to get the schedule so you know who's streaming when and what's going on. And in the coming live streams that I'll be doing on Twitch, I think we're going to focus on getting these other eyes built in this place and really nailing down on the Octavoid and getting it finished already. But anyway, that is it from me this episode. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.